What's up, y'all? Today I want to get into basically I'ma call these things, they're beings, I'ma call them insectoids. And I want to get into them because basically if you look into evolution and all of that, you see that in the past there were like giant bugs on Earth and shit, like human-sized bugs and all of that, some which were even bigger. And the reason I get into that is because I know for a fact that in the spiritual realm, and even in real life too, there are legitimately giant bugs. You know what I'm saying? And basically, when you look into like what Atlantis was, and you look into the flood of Noah, the age of Atlantis, and the Bible talking about giant humans, along with, all of that, you realize that when these giant bugs that were once on Earth, science confirms it, when they died, their spirits still existed. So when you're looking at movies like Coraline and It and Men in Black, you're basically watching about how like those giant insects and bugs used to be. Because in the movie It, the bug, like, it can take on multiple forms and all of that, but at the end of the movie, its true form is revealed to be a spider. Like, that's what it is. Same thing in Coraline 2, the Meldeum or whatever it is, it takes on multiple different forms, but at the end of the movie, you realize it's just an insect. That's all it is, and it wants to feed off her. And the reason this is like interesting is because we know that like these insects, if they fed off humans in this, physical realm, biologically, that's what they needed to survive. Maybe in the spiritual realm, they still need something similar to survive. Because you gotta understand that lots of these insectoids, that's what they're called, they have fallen angel DNA. So they're actually really powerful beings. Just like the giants, they say the giants, they ate so much that they couldn't even, provide anymore. They just ate all the resources. Well, these bugs, they like to eat shit too, so yeah, nigga, if they used to eat humans, nigga, that means that in the spiritual realm that they probably still consume the same shit or something. I don't know. And like lots of Stephen King novels are about insectoids and all that. Like the movie The Mist, like nigga, that movie's like legitimately real. Like most people don't even understand that lots of bugs that we see on Earth, like lots of bugs we see, they're not even really supposed to be on Earth right now. Lots of the life we see isn't supposed to be on Earth right now. It really isn't, if you want me to be honest. Like majority of the stuff that is on Earth is not like intended to be here. That's why you can like look at a tropical paradise and all the animals are healthy and happy. There's no cancer, no disease, no starvation. They're not fucking all nasty and shit. It's clean. But you can look into like an ecosystem that's been affected and there's dying animals. It's all nasty. It's like gross and shit. And you realize that certain conditions are way more natural than other ones. But yeah, anyway, The Mist is about like, let me break down the movie The Mist. The Mist is a movie where they opened a whole bunch of portals, right? The military. And these portals let in a fog, but it also let in these bugs. And basically what happened was the portal was a portal to another atmosphere. Like, it was basically like what they claim is prehistorical Earth, like ancient Earth, where it used to be really like jungle-like and a whole bunch of crazy shit, nigga. Yeah, so basically they opened the gateway and then their planet started spilling over into our planet. And yeah, they was giant bugs and, shit got crazy. But why am I bringing all of this up? Now, if you're aware of what's going on in 2021, you basically are starting to realize that a whole bunch of bugs that weren't here before, that weren't really making themselves apparent, they're starting to kind of pop up now when you're talking about 2021. And if you know anything about that, you know that's because, like, of the rise in dimensions, because of portals that are being opened. And basically, I don't think it's a coincidence that I started coming across all this information simultaneously. Like, I don't even try to learn this shit. It just kind of like comes to me, to be honest. People think I like spend so much time looking into this shit. Like, no, nigga, it just comes to me naturally. Like, anyway, the movie Coraline and then It, and I started looking into a lot of shit. I started realizing that, wait, this stuff is real. And even in Halo, they have, like, again, in Halo, it kind of breaks it down more because it talks about how, like, some of these beings were, like, they used to be different. Like, they used to be normal, but they took on that spider form, that huge insect form, to keep a longer lifespan. So they became ugly in order to survive, because if they didn't, they would die. And the reason they would die is because they were originally angels that descended. You gotta understand that there's two types of insectoids. There's genetic modifications, like the genetically modified insectoids, and then there's the ones that were fallen angels and then became insectoids. Y'all are probably like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Like, because you gotta understand that when these fallen angels, some people would call them gods, some people would call them higher beings. When these fallen angels descended and they took on lower forms, they got stuck in these lower forms. Now, it didn't completely make them powerless, but they could reproduce. That's why they took on these forms. So you have the original, angels that took on those forms, like, the insectoids. You have the original angels that took on the insectoid form, and then, they basically just cloned themselves using DNA and all of that bullshit to reproduce, creating more insectoids. Just like with the mermaids too, because people don't understand that there's two types of mermaids. There's the natural mermaids, the ones that, existed, the real water beings. And then there's the genetically modified mermaids, which were half human, half fish, half fucking whatever. And that's true. There's, it gets way deeper than all of that. Humans aren't even the original human form. Nigga, what are you talking about? We're even told that in science. Think about it, nigga. They say we came from, all these different, human things, homo lineages, whatever. I don't even know the fucking names. I gave up on evolution, but when you look into all that, they basically claim, well, yeah, nigga, humans aren't even the original humans anymore, nigga, like, and then you're like, you look at all of it and you're like, okay, I don't really think lots of people are truthfully gonna hear me when I'm talking about this shit, nigga, like, they claim there was giant bugs, they claim there was giant reptilian dinosaurs, nigga. The gene giantism still exists, you can still see it, nigga, like, basically, almost all of the genetic history says there was giants here, yet you want to try and cover it up every time any sort of evidence pops up or comes to the public. That's what trips me out, is that, they'll talk all they want about all the fucking, there was giant bugs here, nigga, and I know they claim that the giant bugs had to do with oxygen levels. I know all that. I used to look into the geological history of Earth, all the geological eras and all of that, nigga.